Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's the sun beating down here at the BAYUEMAS Oval in the heart of Malaysia. Both these teams, the United Arab Emirates, taking on the Philippines in their final group stage game before we have the quarterfinals tomorrow here, starting here at the UKM and the BAYUEMAS Oval. But this game becomes important for the UAE to get their juices flowing in order to get their batting up front. Well, we had news at the toss, and at the toss was our friend here, Mr. Dennis Muzali. Over to you.
It's match day 5 of the ACC Women's Premier Cup in Malaysia. Our second game here at the BAYUEMAS Oval is a clash between the UAE and the Philippines. I have the two captains of the toss, Isa Osha from the UAE, Kate Donovan from Philippines, and our match referee, Shivani Mishra from Qatar. Isha will do the tossing. She's a home captain. Tails is a call.
And this is the day.
Tails it is. Kate, you win the toss. Tell us what you're going to do and why.
We're going to field first. I think it will work best for what strategy we've got in store. So, yeah.
Yeah, final game in the group. How have you prepared for this one?
We've learned from our last two games and from the first one that we started with a high, but we're going to go with it. Try and give a competitive game for UAE. Well, yeah.
All right. You made any changes to the team?
That's for me to know and for you to find out.
All right. Good luck to you and the girls.
Thank you. Cheers.
Eza, are you happy to be batting first?
Yes, we were looking to have a bat first as well.
All right. What is going to be in your plan? You've already qualified for the quarterfinals. What do you want to achieve in this game?
I think we haven't had a full 20-over game where we've batted first, so I think just spend time in the middle for the batters and, yeah, just put the best score we can on the board and then come out and defend it.
All right. Have you made any changes to the team for this one?
Yes, we have one change. We have Simran coming in for Shashikala.
All right. Good luck to you and the girls.
Thank you.
And the news from the middle. Philippines have won the toss and they will be bowling first.
Well, the news from the center, like Dennis pointed out, is Katie Donovan's had the rub of the green and decided that Philippines will be bowling first. Interesting choice, Shahidul. Philippines deciding that they will bowl first, and the UAE batting for the first time in quite some time.
Yes, interesting, but at the same time, I think the Philippines will like to spend some more time out there in the last outing. They had a wonderful start going against Saudi Arabia where they scored 200 odd runs. And since then, it has been downhill for them. So they're not going to qualify for the quarterfinals.
Well, with the unfortunate news of a tragic earthquake in the Philippines 2 days ago, both teams standing in solidarity for a moment of silence before we begin to proceed with the game. And the team have displayed some incredible strength to stand up and represent their nation. Our umpires, Ankita Guha and Noor Hijra, will now take the field. Umpires Noor Hijra and Ankita Guha officiating at the BAYUEMAS Oval today at this ICC Women's ACC, I beg your pardon, Women's Premier Cup 2026. And Katie Donovan leading out a bunch of very strong women who are bearing the hopes and the weights of a nation. And they will do so with some incredible pride today as they don the blue and gold of the Philippines. And walking out for the UAE, no surprises there. Tirtha Satish and Isha Oza, both of them been in top form this season. And the only problem being they haven't had too much of an opportunity to bat bowling first because their bowlers have done an incredible job of limiting opposition scores. So they look to bat the 20 overs today. Isha, Rohit, Oza and Tirtha Satish. Well, my friend in the commentary box, Shahidur, good afternoon.
Yes, a very good afternoon to you and everyone who has joined us. So perfect conditions for cricket. It's bright and sunny out there at the BAYUEMAS Oval. Beautiful scenes here. And nice colors as well. Blue from both the sides.
and green from all the sides.
There's two batters out there who has a very good reputation behind them and very explosive when it comes to their approach, especially in the power play.
Isha was a very strong when she plays down the way, and Satish, very active cricketer, doesn't sit back. In comes Donovan's, the Philippine skipper. Well, nudges it behind the point, and they'll get through for a single run.
Oh, quick running between the wickets. That's a good start, just opening the face of the bat, and good presence of mind as well.
Isha was, of course, a reputed batter in the associate circuit, the ICC Associate Women's Cricketer of the Year, 2 years running now. A lot of talent in that UAE side.
Fuller delivery. That will be a wide outside the off stump. I think it's very important that you bowl the right line to both those batters.
Well, first time I'm seeing change in the sides for umpires. Umpire Noor Hijra now officiating from the Negara end, and umpire Ankita Guha officiating from the Golden Hope end. And interesting how they choose which side they officiate on. I'll come back to that after this delivery.
That's driven. She finds the gap. Couple of runs once again. Again, the timing on that was superb.
You know, Isha also looks like somebody who feels very at ease when she is out there on the crease. Has ample time on the ball. Very much like the name in her name, Rohit Sharma. Somebody who looks like he has a lot of time when he plays the ball. Very much so in terms of Isha.
Again, fuller delivery. Straight back to the bowler.
Well, umpire Hijra and Ankita, both of them, they come to the grounds and they decide who is the taller one. And then they do the flip of the stump, the bails, I beg your pardon, and the taller umpire stands in the direction at the end where the longer edge of the bail projects. That's how they do it, all the umpires.
That's a good delivery and good running between the wickets as well. Oh, they're going for the second run. Excellent running once again.
I had the pleasure of doing the bail flip alongside our co-commentator Naveen Shori earlier in the tournament, I beg your pardon. And umpire Ankita Guha, taller on both the occasions. I'm not sure which of these two are taller, but they've done an incredible job out there in the field.
Another dot delivery. Well, it has been a mixed over so far. We've seen the length being too full to the batter. Isha will be disappointed not to put that away, but they have some cushion out there as well. There's a sweeper cover out there.
Donovan's she was very emotional last evening as well after that loss against Oman. Play with a lot of passion, the Philippines.
Right on the money. Excellent end to the over. It's 7 without loss. Well, Yusuf, talking about all these teams, I'm sure the best teams are going forward, but there's a lot of positives from the other sides as well. Philippines, one of them as well. started off with a banger. Yes, it was against Saudi Arabia, but scoring 200 is not easy.
I mean, yes, the ACC has done a fantastic job of bringing together 19 teams for an occasion like this. What it does, like you pointed out, is it exposes these teams that are up and coming to the more established associate teams in the circuit. And in those experiences, they find out what's there to improve. They learn a lot and they get the opportunity to mingle with these players. And it's an opportunity for a lot of learning. And it's basically a 10-day conference where they're around the same players at the same hotel, getting to experience lives with each other. So it's a really enriching experience for all these teams, including for the ones that are going home after today.
Yes, absolutely, and I think it gives them a lot of exposure and good match practice as well. That might be a wide down the leg, no?
Kaiti Keane, the new bowler. I believe Dennis hasn't still figured out if it's Kaiti Keane and Kerry Keane are siblings.
Again, a very confident looking shot. She has just faced a couple of deliveries, but you can see the way she has batted throughout the innings to give them that quick start right from the word go.
Satish has been incredible this season, and that's part of why UAE are such a threat. Up front, both their openers are in top form.
Low full toss. She has missed out, probably trying to hit the ball too hard.
She was looking aerial over the leg side mid-on fieldsman on that occasion. She just needed to get bat on ball, and that was flying down the ground to the Negara end.
And yes, I remember in that reduced match against China, the very first ball that she faced, she went over the infield, very fearless, brings in that modern day cricket flavor into the batting as well. Something that we have not seen from many teams.
Very aggressive. She's not afraid to take on the bowlers.
That's a good delivery. Again, just taking the pace off the ball and a very good line of length as well.
Very calculated approach from the UAE so far. Uza has not looked for the big hoiks. Was characteristic of her when they chased down those low scores earlier in the tournament.
That's a low full toss. Finds the field again. She'll be disappointed with that.
She'll definitely feel like she has missed out on that. That was a opportunity served up on a gold platter. Had to get bat on ball, and immediately they're dropping a fielder back. Tirtha Satish on strike, so change in the field. Third man drops down. Extra cover drops down. Mid wicket comes in. Satish very strong both sides of the wicket.
She goes in the gap. That's a good looking shot. That might be 4 runs. Yes, it is. Just a gentle push through mid-on in fact.
You put the fielders on the offside. I am happily going down the leg side, says Satish. End of the second over, 13 for none.
Talking about the last boundary, it was good adjustments because the previous 2 deliveries, both the batters, they were trying to hit the ball too hard and they realized that the lack of pace, they should just wait and play a bit late, and that's exactly what she did. Waited for it and played it with a straight bat.
Very smart batting. You recognize great batters by their ability to play the on drive, and Satish looked the class apart on that.
Straight to point.
Gary Donovan's one of the few fast bowling skippers going around in the tournament. You think of Anujin Gurung of Bhutan, credible with the ball up front, and Donovan's has been no stooge either.
This is a decent start for Philippines. I think they have kept the batters quiet so far. Fuller delivery again. Goes square of the wicket this time. And excellent running once again. Pushing the fielders on their toes.
Good point that you brought up, Shaidur, because Philippines bowling has never really been bad. It's just that very, very frequently they've managed to give in that inconsistent delivery. Even now, if you look at the score, those two boundaries have made a difference. That loose ball that they put every fourth or fifth ball has made that eventual difference in terms of them limiting oppositions. Well, even yesterday they were bowling well.
That's beautifully flicked. Very strong on the pads. The ball just dying before the ropes. Good running once again. 3 runs taken. And I think they have just adjusted beautifully. Again, playing it late, waiting for the ball to come onto the bat.
Both Satish and Oza very strong exponents of judging the length very quickly and very quick on their feet as well. So usually, more likely than not, they get their timing right. And unless, of course, occasionally Satish gets into awkward shape trying to go too hard like we saw earlier as well.
Yeah, smart batting, and that's expected from these duo. Tirtha and Isha, both very explosive. And I think it's just the right kind of start for UAE. And if they can build on this partnership and lay a platform for the next batters, it will be an easy job out there. Fourth delivery coming up. Oh, beaten outside the off stump. That was beautifully bowled.
Full credit to Donovan's on that occasion. She's very rapid, and Philippines, if any, have that advantage trump card of her. She's very quick with the ball, beats the batters with her pace. Yesterday was also very characteristics of that. Lovely scenes here. It's not the players just who are having a good time here, even the birds and even commentators.
Absolutely wonderful facilities here at the BAYUEMAS Oval.
Malaysia's home of cricket.
Slightly wide. Again, missed out on the opportunity. And they've not taken a run as well.
Surprised. They've run really well between the wickets. Whether it's a match-up situation, we'll have to wait and see. But Oza isn't the kind of player who's particularly intimidated by any kind of bowling.
Well, Yusuf, the last couple of deliveries, I've seen the ball just skidding on. So probably she's bowling with a cross seam. So probably the ball is landing on the side and just skidding off the surface. This time, low full toss and wonderfully played through square. 4 runs for Tirtha.
Too much work to do in the deep for the field square of point. But once again, UAE getting a boundary every over.
Well, good start for the UAE. 22 on the board. Tirtha is looking dangerous. So is Isha. And I think it gets very difficult for you as a bowler when you have two very good batters and that left hand right hand combination as well. Always difficult for bowlers to settle down.
Both of them good. Both of them create a different set of problems each. Tirtha very strong square of the wicket, and Oza very strong down the wicket. They have all their options sorted out. In comes Keane.
That's beautifully bowled. Hint of movement away from the right hander. And just teasing with that edge of the bat.
That's the thing with Oza, since she's always looking to attack. One of the strongest exponents of you trying to get her out is the outside edge with that new ball. And The Philippine bowlers doing everything within their control right as of now.
It was a good delivery, right up there in the block hole.
It was a you miss I hit kind of delivery, and Oza very respectful of the bowlers' options.
It has been a good start to this over. Couple of good deliveries. Again, another dot delivery. This time the ball kept slightly low as well.
The pitch doing a few things for the bowlers, and with that new cherry, the bowlers will want to extract a wicket or two out of it, and every UAE wicket has a huge price tag on it, especially that one, the one on the screen, Isha Oza.
Oh, she goes inside out, slightly aerial, but that will be 4 runs.
Told you, there's a huge price on her wicket because she can do things like that. Anything loose, she will pounce on it. You can have bowled 4-5 good balls in the over, and the one loose one you present to her, she'll take you to the cleaners.
Yes, absolutely. I think in the power play, that's a loose delivery. With only 2 fielders outside the circle, cannot be bowling that line, especially against a batter like Isha Oza. Another boundary well. And drop catch. Went straight back to her.
Have to wait and see for the replay if it was on the bounce or if it was directly into the hands of Keane.
Looks like it hit her straight into the belly.
There's a huge opportunity gone begging. You can't afford to do that with this batter.
Just like that, punished through the offside once again. The fielder does well. She made a lot of ground, couple of runs.
I mean, one thing that has been characteristic of a lot of these women's teams that have played, they've run really well. End of the fourth, 28 for none.
J.K. Andriano will be the new bowler coming into the attack. First signs of spin for Philippines.
Pretty sure Oza will now be lining her up. Satish to face.
That's aerial. Oh, misfield. And that's trouble. 4 runs.
Should have been comfortably stopped on that occasion. The ball bouncing at an awkward position, but well within the traceable margins of that fielder.
Well, I think she created that awkwardness for herself. She should have just waited for the ball to come, and straight away there's a change in field. They've taken that fielder from mid-off to cover, which is an even more dangerous position.
I was thinking the same, Shahidul. Satish drives really well through the offside.
Oh, this time she goes aerial, mistimed. Oh, another misjudgment.
That was poor, very poor positioning. Very, very poor positioning from loose Barcelona. The catch was there to be taken. Was there to be taken with both hands. Now then, this is the matchup we've all been waiting for. Oza usually lines up the spinner, goes aerial over the mid-on region. I told you Shahidur.
Yes, it was expected, and full swing of the bat. But again, the slowness of the bowlers did the trick. But only time will say if she can get along with it on the next delivery or not,
Mhm.
because the ball is coming too slow in the air.
Andriano, very good with the ball yesterday, but didn't have a great time in the field. She'd like to rectify all that with a couple of important wickets up front. Satish.
Low full toss, beautifully driven. That's a classy shot.
Left-handers, when they play that drive, Shahidur, they're a thing of art. Satish latching on to that and played it classily and threaded the needle through that gap.
Yeah, you can see some touch of elegance there. The left-hander looking extremely good on the eye. Well, too many full tosses in this innings. We're only into the 5th over, but we have seen plenty of them. Much better. Bowls a quicker delivery, good variation as well.
That's been the problem with Philippines. We discussed it earlier as well. Just that they haven't been able to keep it consistent in terms of line and length, although they have had the capacity to bowl the good ones.
Low full toss, swept away. And fielder does well. Well, she almost overran. Saved a couple of runs. Good work done. End of the over. It's 40 without loss.
Tennis.
Dennis, welcome.
Thank you, Shadir. Shahid, I must tell you that the UAE is moving at 8 runs every over. If they continue like this, it will be at 160.
Well, the way these two are batting, it could be more. Pulled away over mid-wicket. 4 more runs.
Yeah, I think that went to the boundary with a piece of the hand of the captain. Kate Donovan got something on it, but just not strong enough in that effort. I think if she had only realized that that's the opposite number and one of the dangerous players for the UAE, go into that with more conviction, could pull off a blinder.
Well, she's one of the tallest players in that Philippines team. And I think she did well to get a hand to it. Sharp fielding.
Get a hand to it, but I think there was too much in the shot.
Very good start here for UAE. Both the openers are doing a wonderful job with the bat. Oh, gift wrapped for her. And she takes it, one bounce into the fence.
Yeah, it's not Christmas yet, but Isa Osha is unwrapping them. A buffet ball, and that one is dispatched for only 4 runs. I think the UAE at the toss, very, very grateful that the Philippines allowed them to bat first. They haven't had an opportunity of setting a score. And Asia mentioning that they want to use this as an opportunity for them to try themselves out. What can they do if they are posting a total as we get to the business end of the tournament?
Good use of the feed, and look at how nicely she played that. Just opening the face of the bat at the last moment. Good adjustment as well. She was committed to the shot very quickly.
And very good cricketing skills as well. After powering 2 boundaries, this time just using the art to find the gap. It's already 10 runs without any risk.
Full toss, low full toss. Again, good timing on that. Couple of runs. Well, comfortable runs here, and they're making things look very easy out there.
Yeah, I think that's also the mark of a good team and good batters. There will be opportunities for you to score runs, so all you need to do is buy yourself time, play yourself into the game, and then things will get easier.
Absolutely, they've went past 50 in no time. UAE, great start for them. Oh, big swing of the bat, mistimed. Almost getting carried to the skipper. Katie Donovan was there, end of the over. And that will be the end of the power play as well, 52 without loss.
Not very easy conditions out there in the middle. You can see the players asking for a drink and the umpire asking them to just get on with it. But you should feel for the Philippines who have been doing the fielding as well, because they've been chasing some leather. It's 52 inside 6 overs.
Well, Dennis, you were out there with the captains and you have faced the heat. How was it like at the middle?
Yeah, the conditions here are different, especially from where I come from. So very, very humid. If you chase down 2 balls, it's just enough to sort of feel like it has drained you enough. We are John Andriano bowling for Philippines. I think now they have an opportunity to spread the field, try and get control over the run scoring. Just try and keep the UAE as quiet as possible.
Oh, juicy full toss once again. This time finds the fielder, misfield, and they're going to take that run. Well, I think that's something that the Philippines can work on, which is their ground fielding.
I don't know. At this level, I don't think that bowling is acceptable. It's very, very kind. These are 2 very good batters. You sort of just tossing the ball up when the fielder is inside the ring. It's very, very easy for Satish to find the gap, and that will be an easy boundary.
Isha Oja on strike. Again, that slowness. There was a loopy delivery.
Yeah, but I've seen Andriano bowling. She was bowling well in the game against Oman. I don't know why she's looping them up.
Well, I think she's trying something different.
Not against this too.
I think it's all the psychological effect. So, as a bowler, sometimes you're bowling against the name that's down the leg and going to be runs as well.
Yeah, that's much better. Flatter, just the wrong line, but that is much better. That will challenge the batters. That's all. That's what you want to do. Because Isa is already 31, Satish is 21, so these are already 2 set batters. Every time they see flight on the ball, they will come after you.
Sometimes it's good to have that subtle variation in your bowling as well. Again, much better. Good comeback. The footballing skills let her down on that occasion.
Yeah, the struggles in the field continue for Barcelona. Even in the game against Oman, the ball kept following her around and she was just never comfortable. They already in this game, they've had to move her around the park.
But I think these are the games where you have to take note of such kind of things and work on it and get better at this game. That short and wide slashed away once again. And they'll be running for the second, comfortably making it.
Again, the second only possible because the field at the boundary didn't come in very quickly. And because of that, you see the captain making a change, removing the fielder. Maybe she doesn't have a strong arm.
Again goes for that loopy delivery. Easy pickings here for Tirtha. Another boundary.
Yeah, Satish just enjoying herself. Just make sure she finds the gap, and that will go to the boundary. It's a very, very classy player, but also a good player. Good players find gaps. This time doesn't make sure it goes to the fielder. Another boundary, more runs for the UAE. And after 7 overs, they're 62 for no loss.
Well, UAE will be very happy to lose that toss and got to bat first. And I think it's very important for them as well. The quarterfinals are scheduled tomorrow. So I think it's a good time for them to spend some time out there in the middle.
Yeah, very true. And when it landed on tails, Isa Osha wasn't very sure what exactly the Philippines would decide. But when they said they would be bowling first, she immediately signaled to the team that they're batting first, and she was very happy. I think this is an opportunity for them to get good practice ahead of the quarterfinals.
And mind you, their middle order hasn't been exposed yet throughout this tournament.
Very true, Shahidu. That's a problem when you go through the group games like that and your middle order hasn't had an opportunity of having a hit. Thailand did the same when they won the toss against Japan in the morning. They decided to bat first because they wanted to expose the rest of the batting. I think the UAE can also do the same today.
Yes, absolutely. I think that's the reason why both the batters have taken a very aggressive approach. And that's going to be a wide.
It doesn't even hurt if you get at least 100 runs. You can tell the both of them to retire. And then the rest of the guys come and have a hit out in the middle as well.
Yes, absolutely. And they only have today, and this is the afternoon game. So I'm sure after the game, they won't have time to practice as well.
No chance. You don't want to be in a situation where you get into the quarterfinals, you're coming up against a stronger team. They get rid of your top two very quickly. And then everyone else who hasn't had an opportunity to bat in the tournament, you have to rely on them to put a total on the board for you.
Yes, against a good bowling opposition, especially against a team like Thailand, their batters will be tested for sure. As we have seen how good Thailand has. Oh, she has launched that. That will be a maximum, half a dozen.
Yeah, class written all over that shot there from Isa. Just a good extension of the arms. The ball was in the slot, but she attacks that middle boundary and gets half a dozen. Even if the fielders were back on the rope, they would have no chance whatsoever.
Well, Dennis, we have seen both the batters at the time they wanted to hit the ball too hard. They have not found the boundaries, but whenever they have relied on the timing, they have cleared the ropes with ease.
And both of them very, very square inside the V. So that is also another thing. But sometimes what you can do to manipulate a situation like that, since we're out of the power play, you move the fielders on the boundary. So sometimes it works on the psyche of the batter that they won't try and attack that boundary because there's someone there. So they'll play along the ground.
She goes aerial once again. There's a field out there. Oh dear, another drop catch.
Eliza Wall, the guilty party this time. She got to the ball, but unfortunately, she just failed to sort out her hands and ended up putting down a chance. Gives a life to a dangerous batter.
Well, that was a sitter. She hardly had to move. She goes again. This time it's mistimed. Not the best of timings. But she'll still get a couple of runs. Well, she's leaving dangerously, but she's taking her chances.
Exactly, Shahidu, and that's what I mentioned. Because there's no one down there, she's always thinking of attacking. Even if I miscue the ball, it will land safely over the fielders. Now they make the change and try and drop someone there. But Eliza Wall, unfortunate for her, she was a live wire in the game against Oman. This time she just made a poorly judged the ball.
She goes inside out, played on the up. She's dealing in boundaries right now. Isha Oja moves on to 48.
Yeah, Isha is such a fine player. You can't keep her out of the game. They put protection one end as she goes the other side. I think the Philippines running out of ideas of how to keep her quiet. They're 77 for 8. So 77 for no loss in 8 overs.
An expensive over there from Raven Castillo. 15 runs of that over. What a start. UAE. I think the idea here will be to bat 10 overs and probably, like you said, they could just retire Hurd and let the rest of the batters have a go.
Yeah, I'm thinking the way she's been approaching the game, she doesn't look like she wants to hang around for so long. She wants to make sure the rest of her teammates can get an opportunity. I think this is a start that we expected. Philippines winning the toss and electing to field first. UAE were always going to throw the kitchen sink at them. There was going to be no mercy at all.
Well, she has taken her chances, Isha Oja, and she has given the chances as well. It's just that as a fielding unit, you need to take those catches.
Yeah, there are no two ways about it. The catches help you stay in the game. And imagine if you get rid of her, that also allows you an opportunity of bowling at least 2 good overs that are quiet.
And like you have mentioned earlier, they have bowled a few good deliveries, but with the lack of consistency, one bad delivery, one boundary, and it just spoils the over.
Usually it's just one boundary ball, but I think for Philippines, 2 or 3 have been boundary balls. We saw that over from Adriano. She was really tossing the ball up, sort of just bait the batters, but it was easy pickings for Satish.
Well, some brutal thoughts there from my fellow commentator. But yes, it's all facts. And it's going to be Adriano who will continue.
Yeah, but credit to Philippines, they haven't backed away from the challenge. And the captain mentioning it, Kate Donovan, that they really want to test themselves against a side as good as the UAE. And if they feel fast, that gives them an opportunity to at least bowl their quota of 20 overs. And when they come out to bat, they'll also enjoy the experience of batting against a good bowling attack.
Fuller delivery, mistimes it. The bowler. And finally, she gets there. Good catch running back. And that's the first wicket.
Yeah, Maria Luis nearly came in the way of Adriano. And Adriano taking the catch of her own bowling. And not happy there with Barcelona. Barcelona hasn't been very good in the field. I don't know why she was trying to go for the catch. The safest person was always going to be Adriano. And at least they get a wicket. They get rid of Satish, who was starting to grow into the game. Philippines strike and they get their first wicket. The UAE is 77 for 1.
Rinida Rajit is the new batter.
Yeah, Rajita in the game against Oman against China. It was a very, very short game, but she made a good contribution running very hard between the wickets with the captain. She eventually got run out, but her contribution was really helpful in pushing that total along. Shahidu, one of those flighted deliveries, finally baiting, falling for the bait, Satish. And Adriano gets her wicket.
Yes, a very good catch running behind.
Yeah, true.
Good take. Oh, that's a good delivery. Quicker one.
Much better there from Adriano. That will challenge a batter. And if your keeper is in the game, they can easily get something out of it.
So absolutely, you cannot be bowling too slow because these are good batters. 77 was the first partnership. Fortunately for Philippines, they've got that breakthrough. Again, oh, that's a drop catch. Well, another chance goes begging. It was hit extremely hard.
Not
Well-
just a drop catch, but it was hit very hard, and I hope Adriano is okay. That's what you've been talking about, that when you toss them up too high, even the batters may not fall for the bait because they are very good batters. That was hit very hard by Rajita. That was a difficult chance. You'd want them to be taken, but when it's hit with a lot of power, sometimes that's the thing about batters, that when you're hitting the ball, make sure you hit it very hard, so that it's also difficult for the bowler to take.
Well, fortunately for UAE, if that stuck in, could have been second wicket in the over.
Yeah, one brings two.
Well, that's one problem that the Malaysian team had throughout the group stages. Oh, beautifully bowled. That's more like it.
Yeah, that's more like it. You want them on that front foot and challenge that outside edge.
Coming back to Malaysia, throughout the group games, they always went off to a good start, and then they lost wickets in the middle in clusters. And that was evident throughout the 3 games that they played. So that's something they also need to work on, because they have qualified for the quarterfinals as well. Low full toss, missed once again.
Again, very good hustle there from Rajita, realizing that's the final ball of the over. But to finish up the over, so she would rather have either getting on strike. And I think it's a thing about the teams and how the game is played, that every time you lose a wicket, you put pressure on the new person. And when they don't get themselves ready quickly, there's an opportunity to nick them early.
Absolutely. Oh, that's aerial. Oh dear, another drop. This time it was a sitter. Straight in and straight through.
Yeah, the thing is, after the other shot, I think there are some doubts that are created in your mind as a bowler. And when it's hit back with a lot of power, this time you don't want to be in the way.
Well, you need to take those catches. That's the only way. There's a saying, catches win matches.
Yeah, very true saying. 80 for 1 after 9 overs. Shahidu, I must say, I heard you and Yusuf mentioning it, that for teams like the Philippines, these are all lessons they will take from this tournament. And when they go back, you start to understand how far you are from the others and how much work that you need to put in. So when we saw Japan playing Thailand in the morning, the Philippines playing the UAE now, they've gone back, they've taken back a lot of lessons for them. And as we come back for another edition next year, I think they will totally be different teams.
Yes, absolutely. Because, like we have mentioned, there are a lot of positives as well. So they just need to work on the negatives, but as well as develop the positives that they are picking out of this tournament.
Exactly.
Elisa is the new bowler. Steven down the count. Another single.
Yeah, a chance of redeeming herself. Eliza put down Isa Osha. Maybe she'll be able to get out with the ball. Bowled well in the game against Oman. Was really one of the outstanding bowlers for them after the team conceded a total of 140.
Oh, she goes aerial and she will reach 50 with that boundary. She does it in style, the skipper, and she raises her bat.
Yeah, Isa Osha, classic player, leading from the front. Gets a boundary, picks the gap. Today is an opportunity for her to score some big runs.
Yes, absolutely. The stage is set. She's on 53 now, and we're only into the 10th over. Plenty of deliveries to go. There she goes once again. Launches. 4 more back-to-back boundaries.
And if you think about it, we're just in the 10th over. There's still a long way to go. If she keeps going, if she continues like this, she could bring up a century. And Yusuf mentioned it. She really lines up the spinners. And she's always thinking either it's a boundary or going for 6. Not trying to hit a single.
And I think they're bowling to her strength as well. Right there in the arc. There goes another one. Wild swing and a miss. Probably the lack of pace just did her on that occasion.
Yeah, there's a simple adjustment in the field as they've sort of gone to cow corner instead of deep mid wicket.
And it's a packed onside field. Very defensive. But I think that's the only option they have right now. Philippines. Oh, that's a good looking shot. Straight bat. Another boundary. That's 3 in the over.
Yeah, and it was because of the boundaries that were being scored on the other end. The fielder who was at long on decided to move closer to the cow corner fielder, so they left a very big gap down the ground. If you're able to hit the ball over the bowler's head, to just go to the boundary.
But if you're bowling those half trackers, it's never going to be enough fielders out there. Again, Fuller. Misfield. And they'll be getting for a couple of runs.
Yeah, Philippines now all over the place because Isa has turned on the hit on them. She's hitting the ball all over the park, but they'll get a breather for now as the teams go for a drinks break. The situation 95-1, the UAE. Philippines winning the toss in this particular game and choosing to bowl first. And now the teams will take a drinks break, so shall we. We're back after that drinks break, and at the halfway stage, UAE is 95-1. Their captain, Isa Osha, has brought up half century as well. She's 65 of 40 balls. Had a very good opening partnership with Satish Rajita. Dennis, and I'm joined by Yusuf after the break. Oh, that comes off the outside edge. Races away in the gap and all the way to the boundary. The runs continue to flow for the UAE.
Absolute carnage here at the BAYUEMAS Oval. UAE teetering along nearly at 10 runs per over, and Oza has unleashed, and the Philippines have not been any more helpful for their cause. They've let alone so many chances.
Yeah, you're hoping that that break really helps them to just come together as a group and regather their thoughts. But immediately after the break, they concede a boundary. Now pressure on Kerry Keane. Good shot there from Rajita. Goes down the ground. They'll just get the one run. An opportunity for her to have some time out in the middle. That brings up their 100 for one.
This is some serious batsmanship on display. Oza has been living dangerously, but has largely been aided by the Filipino fielding. Isha Oza. She'll be lining up that triple figure mark. In comes the Katie Keane.
Down the ground to just get the one run. You mentioned Yusuf, it has really been helped by the poor fielding put down in this game. From then on, she hasn't looked back.
Well, you've spoken about how this would be a major learning experience for teams to assess where to improve. Come back to that after this delivery.
Yeah, ML Luis Barcelona just goes through her a little bit, but I think she also did a good job. Strong boot from her, because if it had passed her, she was just going to race away to the boundary.
This is the most glaring issue that they will have to work with is the fielding. The ground fielding and the aerial fielding can do with some work, and Philippines will be very wary of that.
Good shot there from Isa, and what a fielding on the boundary. Good work to save 2 runs. Very good commitment.
Jomel Masaya dropped the catch earlier in the day and was switched to another position this time, making sure she held on to that.
Like you've mentioned, Yusuf, I think it's just the ground fielding is what they need to work on. They don't bowl poorly. They're very good as a bowling unit, but it's just not backed up with some good fielding.
Exactly, Dennis. Has been the case with their tournament so far. So many opportunities squandered. And I think if these opportunities were held on to, the story could have been very, very different.
And they're the team with the highest total in the tournament.
It goes to show that their batting has its depth, and also their bowling hasn't been any bad.
Very well played there by Isa. Good players find gaps, and that will go to the boundary.
4 more to the total, 113 now. UAE 109, I beg your pardon, at the end of the 11th over.
And a big whip off the pad that goes to the boundary.
I think it was Shahidur who brought up that point where the Philippines middle order hasn't been exposed. Beg your pardon, the UAE middle order hasn't been exposed yet, and it would be ideal in such a case that the UAE's middle order gets to bat, because it's not going to get any easier going forward, and they want to test the mettle of that UAE middle order.
Yeah, I think they want to test I think that has also become a problem for Philippines, because Isa doesn't want to hang around for a very long time. She just keeps launching everything and it goes to the boundary.
Renitha Rajit and Wall. Eliza Wall to continue from the Negara end.
Very good running between the wickets, touch and go.
Rajit has no interest other than getting off strike and handing over the powers to Isha Oza.
Yeah, she's done so well just to do that. Might look easy sometimes, but it's not that easy. You look for a single and you fail to get it.
Oza facing up to Eliza Wall. Hit over the infield and straight down the long off fielder.
Very good stuff there from, and you've mentioned it, Yusuf. Rajit just trying to get off the strike. Can see she had already committed to the double. I don't think even Isa was interested in a second, but realized that Rajit had already come back her end.
Moving along here quite nicely, the Emirati outfit.
Stan gets off the outside edge. Some work to do for the fielder. The ball is racing but won't get to the boundary. She does a good job just to keep it in.
Emilia Valdez, the fielder on that occasion.
Yeah, Amelia Valdez, one of the aggressive batters for Philippines. I'm sure she must be licking her lips as well, waiting for opportunity to come out and bat.
Nothing to lose for Philippines today, so everything to play for. Might as well give it a good go. We're still in the 12th over and already 414 on the board. Was there an opportunity gone begging?
Yeah, missed out on that one, Isa. But you can see why she's trying to launch the ball. She just wants to hit it over the covers. I like this field set from the Philippines. They know she's strong in front of, in the V, so they've had some good protection.
What was that?
That's the wrong option. Straight like an arrow and down the ground. 2-4 there from Eliza Wall. And more runs for Isa Osha.
Isha Oza moves on to 78 now. It's a lot of runs. Closing in on the tournament record, if I'm not wrong. 84 is the highest individual score so far.
The quality in that shot there from Isa just goes inside the line and then manipulates the length. Doesn't connect with it very well, so there will be some work to do in the deep. But
Ranjit already looking for the second one.
Yeah, but I think she was really gussed out.
End of the 12th over, 119 for 1, the UAE.
Just come out of the break, but you can see he's really tired already. It's not easy batting out there in the middle. To test everything that you have, fitness and all. Just come out of the drinks break, but she's already looking very, very tired. So she probably will play a couple of tired-looking shots. And I don't think she's thinking about personal milestones. 119 for 1 after 12 overs.
Keen to continue.
Hit to the sweeper, straight to Eliza Hall, who has just been bowling. They will only get the 1 run. Carrie Keane this time, who's bowling from the Golden Hope end. This particular ground hosted under 19 Girls World Cup. Full toss on the pads. Another gift from the bowlers of Philippines. And that goes to the boundary.
Lose and easy pickings for Rajit. Ball coming on to her at an easy height. And she just had to get better on ball. And it was flying along.
Yeah, very poor delivery there from Carrie Keane. The kindest of bowling on the pads, and then she just walks with the pace to the boundary.
You can tell the Filipino fielders are having a long time out in the field. They're not enjoying this.
I don't know why Carrie is bowling with a fine leg. doesn't have too much pace. She could use that fielder elsewhere on the boundary rather than at fine leg.
Yes, retain that fielder inside the circle and explore your options outside. A deep square leg looks like a good idea at this point in time. Keen to Rajat. Fuller driven down the ground.
And down the ground, something unique about those two fielders at long on and long off. They're not at the boundary itself. They're standing at 45 when Rajit is on strike. When Iza comes on strike, they go all the way back to the boundary.
The kind of power the Emirati skipper packs. You need fielders sometimes outside the boundary as well. Keen to Oza.
What a shot there from Iza. Just gets inside the line of the ball again and ramps it. Now the fielder there, very honest enough to indicate that wasn't well done, so they give the boundary.
Oza having a lot of fun out there. 84 now, 16 away from a first tournament 100. Getting a 50 in itself has been few and far this tournament, and Oza has gone all the way so far. Full toss, hit deep on the square leg boundary, same delivery, same treatment, different batter.
Yeah, back-to-back boundaries. And you mentioned it, Yusuf, that you're better off using a deep square leg fielder. Again, Oza getting inside the ball. She's now looking at the ball like a football, and everything is coming out of the middle of the bat. But the fatigue getting to her. She's into the 80s, 88 from 51. We can see her on her knees just trying to catch her breath.
Yeah, dugout happy to let their captain bat. They'll probably wait for her to get to three figures before making any call. But she's looked a class apart, the UAE skipper.
Soft hands this time from the captain, so they'll just pick the 1 run. Trying to keep the strike for herself, 135 for 1 after 13 overs.
Lisa Wall back into the attack. The 2 overs have been quite expensive.
Yeah, and I like this attitude from the teams. When you're a bowler, you're supposed to bowl no matter how things are going for you on the day. You have to put in your shift. But Lisa Hall also opens the batting, so she might come out later on to open the batting for Philippines.
She'll want to make a statement today as well. Didn't look as good yesterday. In comes Wall.
Straight down the ground, but this time straight to the fielder, so they'll just get the 1 run. Captain is sent back. She's now 90, into the nervous 90s. A full toss doesn't connect it with it very well. Rajit will pick up a double. Gets her without Eliza Hall because it was bowled at a good height. She's thinking about going back. The captain nearly giving away her wickets. I think she's anxious to get to the other end.
Lot going on here. Full toss not connected well. That throw from the field, they're taking nearly 10 bounces before it got to the bowler. A lot going on. Swept and swept well. in front of square. Fielder will have too much to do. That'll be a boundary.
Yeah, more runs. The runs continue to flow for UAE. Rajita getting into the action on the pads and connects with it very well. She's one of the steady batters in that team, and I think that's why she's promoted today, just to give us some time in the middle.
Usually it's Hina Chandani who comes in at number 3. Rajit comes in at number 4. Probably to get some man hours in for Rajit as well. 6 overs remain.
Good comeback there from Wall. And she's really swimming against the tide, because now 2 set batters. These are difficult times to bowl.
Wall to Rajit.
Rajit goes again, nearly took out the umpire. Gets out of the way in a nick of time, and that goes to the boundary. She's feasting on the bowling.
Umpire Ankita Guha had to skip and hop.
Starting to be dangerous for everyone, including umpires.
I hope it doesn't come here, Dennis. Ishauza can definitely slog one here.
Yeah, we have some good height as well. She will need good height and distance to find us. 146 for 1, steady cruising at 10 runs every over. Think about a second. She has to get back very quickly, Isa, but she's in safely. That will mean she'll be on strike for the next over, but a good over there that has been milked well by Rajit. 148 for 1 after 14 overs. Good to see that the umpires are kind enough just to let the batters get a drink. So much running between the wickets, so
I don't think they're happy.
I know they will never be happy, but the health is important. There are tricks to go about that. Ask for gloves, change of helmets.
I can see the experience of a former national cap speaking.
I know some of the dark arts of the game, so either way, I'll buy my own time. Unfortunately, these days it is the fielding team that is penalized, so sometimes fielding captains are never happy when you bring out the dark arts of the game.
Well, Donovan back into the attack with a mission to prevent 100. Oh,
And see Donovan just telling Barcelona to just let's try and just control things and calm down. I think she's taken some time to bring herself back into the attack.
really like how she's gone about business in this tournaments.
Yeah, she's very, very committed to the cause for her team. And she always speaks with a lot of passion, even at the toss or at the post-match presentation. You can see the emotion in her. But she knows that they're on a journey and they're not yet at their destination.
Donovan's to Rajit.
Inside edge. And that will race away to the boundary. I think that's been the story of her bowling. She has balls with some good pace. And every time the ball touches something, it goes to the boundary. 48 runs for Rajit, but they will take them the UAE.
Too good for the batter, even for the keeper. Donovan's ball missing everything, and it has cost her 4 runs.
150 is up for the UAE, 153 for 1. It really has some good pace when she's bowling. I think Kabita of Nepal is the other bowler with some really good pace.
Kabita Kunmar bowled really well in their last game against Hong Kong as well.
Wow. Strikes the captain. Gets rid of Rajit. The first one got the inside edge, but this one takes out middle stump.
Talk about the quality of that delivery. On the money. She's been nailing that Yorker ever since she stepped foot here in Malaysia. Even to Oza up front, bowled that Yorker. Look at that.
Yes. See that on the replay. Very good areas there from the captain. Yorker, you miss a hit and takes out leg stump. The toe crusher getting the wicket for Philippines. 153 for 2 UAE. Not sure if the next batter was ready for UAE. We've had an incident in the tournament where batter from Bhutan was timed out. And in these desperate situations, when Philippines can opt for that.
Mehul Kulkarni, the new batter for UAE. Probably the first delivery she's facing this tournament. I'm not exactly sure if she faces it. 14.3 overs. Mehul Pranav Kulkarni.
The UAE with a very, very young team for this tournament. I think they'll use this as an opportunity to prepare the next generation of superstars for them. It's very good exposure. And of course, when you come in a tournament like this, when you come with some reputation, I think they'll also be feeling some of the pressure as the whole unit does.
I think these players have 4 or 5 years of international experience down the line. They're going to be really good. There'll be one team to watch out for as the years go along. Donovan.
Second wicket. The captain, back-to-back wickets for her. And she's chosen to take the responsibility herself. This time going through the gate. And there will be no troubling the scorers.
Tell you, she's some bowler. Tennis. Incredible skill on display here. And Mehul Pranav Kulkarni, she's spending more time on the walk back than at the crease. A toe crusher. What a beautiful delivery.
Yeah, copy and paste of the one that got rid of Rajit. Very, very good skills there from the captain. I told you, Yusuf, she took long to bring herself into the attack. She must have was trying to save her resources, I think, for a bit later, but by the time she's come back, the total seems very, very huge. But they'll take that nonetheless, something to celebrate for Philippines. 153 for 3 UAE.
Lavanya Kenny, the new batter. She can be prepared for a Yorker.
Kate Donovan on a hat-trick. They had to see one in the tournament. There have been opportunities, none taken.
Pudawong got a hat-trick versus, if I'm not wrong, it was Thailand's game against...
Clearly, the captain is thinking about the hat-trick. She's put in a sleep. Small things to celebrate. I mean, 2 slips, actually.
It would be some scene if Donovan can get another 3rd wicket of a Yorker. Pretty sure that's what she's got coming up.
Oof. Missed opportunity, but clearly she was trying to look for a Yorker. I was just going to say, Yusuf, I'm wondering why she's bothering with the slips. If I was her, I would just nail another Yorker.
Does the opportunity for a hat-trick hold up if it is a wide?
Nope. Completely gone. We'll start again.
Unfortunate for Donovan. Well, she can hold her head up high because she's led the team with some class over the course of this tournament. And
she's a very strong leader and the team follows her. She puts in a very, very big shift for them, opens the bowling. She's their go-to batter as well, so puts in a very, very strong shift for the team. It's now captain to captain. And Iza Osha is also very intelligent, realizing that this is the ball I don't want to take on. So she's very careful against her. She's not trying to just hit out of the park. I'm sure she knows, let me see you off, and then I'll deal with the others.
I mean, they're already in a strong position, the UAE, so they'll ideally wait and want for Isha to get to her milestone as well. Donovan to continue from the golden hope end.
This time they'll push for a quick tight swing, but they'll get it. And what a very good over from the captain, Donovan.
Barcelona hitting the stumps on the full as well. Been a habit this over for the Philippines team. End of the 15th, 155 for 3. Welcome back, Shahidur.
Well, thank you. Good entertainment all around. And some wonderful batting. We have seen some clean hitting from the skipper. Isha Oza, just 8 runs away. Probably 2 boundaries. She just needs 2 balls to get to 3 figures. What a knock.
I mean, she's either going to get it or is either going to go down trying to get it. She's in that kind of a space now, Oza. Happy to take on the bowling. The UAE in a strong position. Her middle order needs some minutes on their feet.
And I think she's a team player. I think all this personal milestone doesn't play on her mind. And she's gone. Like I said, she will go for the hit. She went for it and she perishes. And what a wicket. What a breakthrough.
The 100 in the WC, the Women's Premier Cup for the ACC is still one waiting because Isha Oza has fallen to a ball by Eliza Wall. What an innings this has been by the UAE skipper. Started that initial onslaught and never really looked back. Shed some incredible momentum and impetus to this UAE side. She's led from the front and she's proven her mettle as the most promising women's cricketer of associate cricket by the ICC, and today was no different. Look at that premeditated shot. Saw the ball going up in the air and her eyes lit up immediately and went across the line only to fall for that delivery. Samira Darnidarka, the new batter for the UAE.
But a wonderful knock comes to an end. Brilliant innings from the skipper. Led from the front, 92 of 58. Well, she set the tone for UAE. And now they're in a very strong and commanding position, 156 for 4. Only to the 16th over. And Samira gets off the mark straight away.
Darnidarka. Antonio batters at the crease. Lavanya Kenny also about to face her first delivery. In comes Wall.
That was straight to the fielder and another misfield. Well, it has been that sort of a day for Philippines. The fielding has a lot to improve.
They've not been able to get it right. The Philippines. A lot going against it, like Dennis was saying earlier as well. They're swimming against the tide. Their bowling being the swimming and the tide being the fielding. Fuller delivery. Tries to go across the line, misses everything. Guha will quickly go set the stumps up and will be good for action. Wall to Kenny.
Well, a decent over. That important wicket of the skipper.
Isha Oza was dropped before she got to 20. Shahidur.
Flicked away. Just a single. Yes, a lot of opportunities given. Then they have not taken their opportunities and now they're suffering here. Philippines, the courtesy of their captain, they've found their way back in.
End of the 16th, 164. Donovan's will bowl out. Final over for the skipper. In comes Katie Donovan's. Driven hard by Kenny, but straight to the field. A chance of a run out at this non-striker's end and comes through really well. The Philippines' energy in the field slightly up since that wicket. Donovan's to continue, and it'll be Lavanya Kenny on strike. I beg your pardon, that's Samera Dharnidarka on strike.
Oh, that's beautifully bowled once again. Went through her, beaten for pace. The skipper, Katie Donovan, is doing a wonderful job here.
She's certainly a Filipino fast bowler, but that went through like a Japanese bullet train. Had absolutely no time to connect back to ball on that occasion. Dharnidarka. That's been the case of Donovan's. She's been very hard to deal with because she really rattles you and hurries you up. A lot of these Filipino cricket's future will be built around her.
Another fuller delivery. This time she gets bat on it. That will be 4 runs.
Just about to say how much of an influence Donovan sees on the Filipino side. A lot of movement on that ball. Despite 16 and a half overs old. Donovan's, remember, she's just 22, Shahidur.
It's a wonderful comeback here from Philippines. They've taken a couple of wickets. And that wicket of the skipper, I think that's just slowed down the runs, the flow of runs.
Oza looked like she was batting in the park.
Excellent stuff. Again, it's not easy to ace the Yorker, but she has done it throughout her spell.
Sure, there'll be a lot of ice on this tournament. Katie Donovan's has been one of the standout performers in her niche. Katie Donovan to Dharnidarka.
Oh, cleaned her up. Another wicket. Timber once again.
Well, the Philippines team will need the services of a carpenter the way she's rattling the wood.
Beautifully bowled. The ball again coming back with the angle.
You were very rightly concerned when you mentioned that the UAE middle order hasn't been exposed to any sort of batting this tournament, Shahidur. Because right now, they are falling like a pack of cards since the dismissal of the openers.
Yes, exactly. I think we had this discussion earlier on. If you take away the runs of Isha Oza, I think the rest of the batters really struggled. Apart from her opening partner, Tirtha, who was the only batter apart from Isha, really made some impact.
Exactly, that has been a problem, and this is something that the UAE batters will look on when they go back to the drawing board tonight, because come game day in a couple of days' time, in fact tomorrow, the quarterfinals, so they don't have too much time to adjust. Will be a lot to look out to.
But that also puts you under a lot of pressure as a batter as well, going into the quarterfinals. and just the game before you don't score runs, so your confidence level is down before the game itself.
Yeah, I mean, you can't expect Isha Oza to bail you out of every situation. And let's be honest, the kind of opposition they have faced haven't been on par with their level of skill. And if anything, the quarterfinals and the semi-finals, and for the matter of fact, even the final is going to be on teams which are on level terms. So they have to be very much on the dot when it comes to game day.
Absolutely, and the only bowler that made an impact was the skipper, and you can see her figures: 3.5 overs, 25 runs, 3 wickets for her. And so far, they haven't had good answers to her delivery. Again, good end to the over, good aggression shown by the skipper. Wonderful spell of bowling: 4 overs, 25 runs, 3 wickets. It's 165 for 5.
Kaiti Keen from the other end. 3 more overs to go, and the runs have dried up for the UAE. Kenny on strike. And Hot Chandni coming in at number 7 today. Usually comes in at number 3.
So Lavanya on strike. 3 more overs to go. Can they get past 190?
They should be backing themselves up.
Starts off with a single. The Philippines won't mind the singles. And what time? UAE were looking to score almost 200 or anything in excess as
I
well.
mean, they were comfortably above 10 runs an over at a point. After 14 overs, they were 146 for 5. It's just that the last 3 overs have just given them 20 runs, which is usually good by the standards of this tournament. But given how they've been batting today, they would have been gutted not to have gotten more in that period. And 200 looks slightly a bit of a reach away. Keen to continue coming over the wicket.
I think anything over 180 will still be a good thing, and that's another drop catch and will result in a boundary as well.
There is Kerry Keane dropping the catch of bowling of Katie Keane. Tough chance, but you got to hold on to them at this level. 170 for 5 now.
Well, that's probably the 6th catch dropped. You cannot be giving too many chances to the batters, especially against this UAE side. They're very strong.
It's basically you playing with 20 to now with the 6 chances dropped. It's you giving 16 lives to the opposition, and that is not something that you want to be doing to a quality side like the UAE.
It's going to be a wide.
It's getting really messy for the Philippines team now. They looked like they were pulling things back after that wonderful over by Donovan, but the same mistakes keep happening. They keep coming. The wides, the drop chances. But they want to make sure that they finish on a higher note here. The Philippines, they'll be taking that flight back today.
Oh, another misfield, another single. It's just not working for them, especially in the field for Philippines. And you can feel for Katie Donovan. She has bowled with a lot of heart and put in a lot of efforts, but then somehow the fielding has let them down.
Like we were discussing this earlier as well. They've got runs with the bat. They've bowled well with the ball. It's just that when the chances have come begging, they have let it go. And if you look at a good number of their wickets, they've all been LBW and bowled because a healthy number of catches have been let go. Kenny comes down the ground and hits it over the infield, and that'll go straight to the fielder. But Donovan herself did well to get there. Should have held on to it.
Well, half chance, but that still goes down as another opportunity.
You have to take that at this level of cricket. Catches, you should eat them for breakfast.
He swings, and this time the fielder does well.
Still come back for two. Not the strongest throws. And, Kenny keeps adding to that UAE tally of 176.
But one thing with those 2 wickets, I think the flow of runs really slowed down.
I think she's been finding the boundary at will, Oza.
Well, that will help. That's in the gap. Long chase here. And they'll be going for the third. Good running between the wickets.
Three runs, even in this heat, even late into the innings, even with such a big score on board. UAE keeping the intensity on, 179 for 5. Keen to continue.
Harry Kane, very expensive as well. Already considered 30 runs in 2 overs. Wrapped on the pads. That will be leg buys. Well, she has bowled with some good pace. It's just that she has not hit the right length.
There's immense potential in this Philippine side, and I think they wouldn't have competed this much and made it this far if not for the kind of fighting spirit they have. And it'll just be a matter of time, Shahid Rubik, before they eventually unlock that potential. They're doing the good things right, and once the facilities and the infrastructure keeps improving, they'll keep and punching above their weight.
There's definitely a lot of positives. We have seen potential and a lot of promise, but then you still need to take it to the next level. Let's play square of the wicket, good looking shot, square drive, and couple of runs taken.
.180 now, the score. 182 with those 2 runs. 10 deliveries remain in the Emirati innings.
On strike. Again, dot delivery. We haven't seen many, but I think the last few overs they have bowled well. Bowling right up there in the block hole, not giving any room to the batters.
There have been glimpses of that quality that you suggest. The Yorker coming in handy for most of these bowlers. Now then, Hot Chandani.
Again, right up there in the block hole. Goes to Barcelona, and she had a poor day in the field.
Bit of a nothing throw there. Barcelona easily the most experienced player in the Philippines lineup. In comes Keane.
Uses a feed, slightly aerial and short of the fielder.
last ball of the 19th coming up.
Received away on the onside. Another single to end the over. Hina will keep the strike. It's 185 for 5. Well, Yusuf, today is the last day of the group stages. And with the lineup of this quarterfinals, I think we have a lot of entertainment to come. We have 4 matches tomorrow, and it's going to be Thailand going against Nepal at the BAYUEMAS Oval in match 1, followed by Hong Kong China versus Japan, which will be at the UKM Oval. And then we have 2 matches in the afternoon. UAE to start off with the host Malaysia at the BAYUEMAS Oval itself, and the last match Indonesia and Oman. So a lot of cricket still remaining and a lot to play for. Many teams came into this tournament with only one dream, but there can only be one ultimate winner.
Absolutely, it's been a spectacle of matches these few days, and we are having some incredible cricket lined up for tomorrow. Thailand taking on Nepal, Hong Kong versus Japan, UAE taking on Malaysia, and Indonesia taking on Oman. Really looking forward to a few of those games, especially the teams. The Hong Kong Japan game is going to be interesting. The Indonesia Oman game is also going to be interesting. In comes the bowler. Well, umpire Hijra says wide.
That's going to be a wide. And well, extras, it's another thing that they can work on. I think it's very important that you maintain that discipline in your bowling attack.
In comes the pace bowler from the Negara end, Castillo. Very expensive in her first over, taken to the cleaners by both the openers, and since she has returned for the final over.
That's a good looking shot right over the bowler. That will be a boundary as well. Good timing.
Long day in the field for Castillo. Was there in that early opening spell, and then now brought back in, and she's being given the treatment. What Chandani usually bats at number 3 for UAE, doing the finisher's job today. Well, even when she was batting at number 3 this tournament, she had to do the finisher's job. Today, designated role to try and maximize the UAE total here. In comes Chandani.
Good use of the field. Played on the up. 4 more runs. Well, 194. We thought that they might not get there, but these two are doing a wonderful job here.
The last 2 overs have been effective. They've managed to sneak in those 1 or 2 boundaries per over, and that's why you're seeing these numbers come in. Both Lavanya and Hina especially have managed to settle down.
That's Ariel, and that's in the gap as well. This could be a 3rd boundary. Back-to-back boundaries. That's 4, 4 and 4, and the score moves on to 198.
Now they'd be disappointed if they don't get to 200. The only team that has gotten 200 in this tournament so far are the Philippines. They'd like to keep and take home that record, at least for the group stages. But unfortunately, it looks like UAE are closing in on the milestone as well for them. Last 2 balls of the innings coming up.
Swing and a miss. Rare dot delivery. Just one more delivery remaining. 198.
They'll run regardless. You can ensure that Kenny at the non-strikers end will be getting that head start. It'll be interesting to see what Castillo does. Look at that. She's off immediately. Hits it hard, hits it into the gap. Fielder will have some work to do. They'll come back for a second. The UAE will finish off at 200 for 5. The Filipino batters will have a lot to do when they come out to bat. Shahidur, it's been an explosive performance by the UAE. Strong beginning, strong finish, but they'll have a thought or two about that middle phase.
Yes, absolutely. Powerful performance. 200 for 5 and led by their captain. Missed that century, but I think she'll be very happy with the way the team finished after her departure.
Definitely, I think that was a point of conversation for them as well. They needed to get in those minutes, and those batters have done well, especially Hot Chandani and Kenny coming in clutch towards the end to make sure that total still went over 200. They'll be happy with what they have on the board, UAE, and who will not be happy is the Philippines unit. They would have expected better of themselves. They would have known the assignment with the UAE was always going to be a tough one. But the sad part being they've created so many chances that they've not held on to. Something that they will think of and work going forward into the future. And when we come back, we'll be there with the chase of the Philippines team. And Isha Oza and her spinners will be waiting to view a web around this unit. We'll be soon back with the chase.
We are back for the second innings of the second game here at the BAYUEMAS Oval. The UAE taking on Philippines. UAE piling on 200 for 5 in their quarter of 20 overs. And we're back with the response from Philippines. They'll have to go hard if they're going to find the runs. Amelia Valdez out there in the middle to open with the batting with Eliza Wall for Philippines. And UAE will get their defense going. But my name is Dennis Musali, and I'm here with Yusuf to take you through commentary for this game. Yusuf, what did you make of the first innings?
I think UAE, they'll be happy that they got minutes in their legs, especially that middle order. But when they go back to the drawing board tonight for the quarterfinals tomorrow, they'll definitely have a look at that middle order and say, you got to do better, because it was the finishers who came in handy towards the end. And the upfront onslaught by Tirtha and Rohit. Isha, usual as ever.
The captain, the ever reliable. But here is the response from Philippines. You know how strong Valdez is inside the power play as well. She can't hit a long ball. And if she's there for a very long time, I think she will cause some damage to the UAE.
Easily clears the boundaries. And UAE, they haven't bowled an over of pace, I think, in their last 2 matches. Such has been their bowling. And Simran Ashwin Kumar, the new bowler. Right arm round the wicket to Valdez.
I got a hit me ball, but not put away by Valdez. Valdez can hit a long ball. We saw what she was doing. She was starting to get interested in the game against Oman. Hit some big sixes and off very good balls.
Really strong to latch onto length and clear it square of the wicket on the leg side. Square leg goes deep, a slightly finer square leg. Just one field, square leg and a deep mid wicket, I beg your pardon. In comes Simran. Fuller, driven well through the covers. That'll be 4 runs. Unless, of course, the outfield teases the fielders. It'll be 4.
Yeah, hits the ball with power, Valdez, and that will get to the boundary. Despite the efforts of Mahesh, ball gets to the boundary. Maybe could have done a touch better. 15-year-old Simran bowling for the UAE. So was chatting with the teams, and the team officials mentioning that they're using this as an opportunity to expose some young players ahead of the Under 19 World Cup qualifiers.
Simran hasn't been part of affairs much this tournament.
So don't be surprised when you see a lot of young players in all these teams. I think this is a good opportunity for them to test themselves at this level. That when they come up against their age mates, they are ready to go.
UAE have dropped Sashikala De Silva today as well. Right arm medium pacer and right hand batter. Played the last game but didn't have to do anything, because the UAE went with spin options and then the match was done with the top order. Here comes Simran Ashwin Kumar.
Another full toss, doesn't get hold of it, goes through mid wicket. Hits from up Valdez. I think that's why she's unable to connect with some of his balls. Those full tosses dipping into her. If she's able to hold her shape and just stays low, she can be able to connect with them very well.
Very good point you made there, Dennis. The direction, the trajectory of the ball, how much it influences the style of play. Valdez doesn't really commit with her head or her foot. Very hands-on player. Strong with her wrists, and when the ball is dipping, it's really hard to connect, like you did mention.
Up-ish in the air, but through the gap as well. Good use of the hands, like Yusuf has mentioned, this time from Eliza Wall. And the ball goes all the way to the boundary.
Eliza Wall was a struggle of an innings yesterday, but today she's off the mark. End of the first over, 9 for none.
26, 28.
Suraksha Kote, the new bowler.
So rush to Amelia Valdez. Okay, nearly went through the gate there for Valdez. Yorker length from Kote.
Valdez will be very aware of the threat that is imposed.
Correct, but straight to the fielder. Yes, we can't forget what has happened in the Philippines. And our thoughts and prayers with everyone. It's good to see that the team is committed, and even if they are playing for pride in this particular game, I'm sure they want to make sure that their nation is very, very proud of them.
Powerful earthquake yesterday. Southern region of Mindanao, Philippines, and a lot of fatalities, injuries, and Filipino infrastructure all down.
Yeah, our thoughts and prayers are with everyone and all the families that have been affected. Hope and pray that everything goes back to normal as soon as possible.
Definitely. And I think these young women.
A good use of the feet from Valdez. Ball will have some running to do, but it will get to the boundary. Beats the fielder just at the last minute.
They're doing a fantastic job here despite the carrying a weight of a nation on their shoulders. Philippines managed to show up well in the run. Valdez has been holding on to her right shoulder from the very beginning of the innings quite a few times now.
Yeah, I think even in the last game before she got out, she was really holding on to it. I think
the abdomen yesterday. Today, something to do with the shoulder. Hope she's okay and good for the Philippines.
And her game is power. She needs her shoulder to be okay. Scores her runs quickly. She doesn't waste a lot of balls or time in the middle. She wants to score her runs very, very quickly. End of the second over. 13 for no loss, Philippines. The young Sumran will continue from the Negara end.
Simran Ashwin Kumar.
Simple push and up in the air, chips it. Simran very, very excited, and she picks a wicket. She gets a breakthrough for the UAE.
First draw of the blood. I have a question for you, Dennis. Fielder got hold of the ball, hot Chandani, and immediately ball struck the non-striker's end as well. Direct hit. Whom do you consider out?
Yeah, the first they said that the thing that happened first is what is taken. So the catch prevails over the run out. There was a run out opportunity.
The ball is dead as soon as the catch is taken.
Exactly. In the slot there there is a hole, but she just ends up chipping the ball to the waiting hands of the field at mid-off, and the Philippines lose their first wicket. They are 13 for 1.
The new batter, Carrie Keane, for the Philippines. just 15 years of age, Ashwin Kumar. Talk about 15-year-olds of Indian origin rocking it at the world stage.
Yeah, she was very, very excited. I think must be her first wicket at this level.
Can't look past Vaibhav Suryavanshi as well.
No, you can't. I think he's lit up the world. He's a trailblazer right now. But I think an inspiration for so many young players.
Touted to be the youngest Indian to represent India very soon. In comes Ashwin Kumar.
Missed out on that. Again, the mystery for Shimran is that a ball dips into you. So if you play from up, it will creep under your bat.
You can't play the ball at your visual level. You have to estimate it a foot or two below. And that is what has challenged Waldes and now Keane.
Well played and good placement. Again, the calling between the wickets missing, but there was an opportunity for a run.
Keane facing up to Ashwin Kumar.
Half tracker picked up well. There will be some work to do for the fielder in the deep, but won't cut it off. Gets the boundary, got in position very quickly. Keane was able to get off the mark with the boundary.
Nothing much the fielders could do. As soon as the ball was given on a length, he was quick to latch onto it. Now then, change in the field. Deep square leg in place. Deep mid wicket also comes back in. And no one on the boundary line on the offside.
Surprised by that fielding change because the ball that got a boundary was a bad ball. All you need to do is tell Shimran to change her line and length. You can't place fielders for bad balls.
Very philosophical piece of cricketing lines there, Dennis. You can't place a field for a bad ball. Exactly. Comes Ashwin Kumar.
Pitched up, but doesn't go past the captain, Eza Osha. That will complete the third over. But a wonderful experience for the young Shimran. Got her first international wicket in that over, despite going for a couple of runs. Should be a lasting memory for her. And after 3 overs, Philippines is 17 for 1. So Rakesh Akoti will continue from the Golden Hope end for UAE. Maria Valdez has seemed a bit uncomfortable. Was leg side this time, the protection down the ground. Good awareness from her to hit on that side. Was the deployed 2 fielders long off and long on, just to tempt her into a big shot. I think they know her reputation.
You were right, Dennis. Simran, 0 wickets in international cricket so far, till that wicket of the opening batter, Wall.
Yeah, that celebration had everything written on it. That will be forever stained in her memory.
And fun fact being, she's drafted into the UAE side more as a batter than a bowler.
Full toss, The connection not very good from Amelia Valdez, but has enough to get to the boundary.
If it was a usual Amelia Valdez day, that ball was going to the Kuala Lumpur Metro.
Yeah, we saw her hitting a big six in the other game of a full toss. But, this time she seemed to be in some sort of discomfort.
Suraksha Kote has been doing the bowling honours in that second over for this first change since the beginning of the tournament. She's been good.
Yeah, mixed runs for Philippines. I don't know. That should have been the responsible for Carrie King on the other end, because Amelia Valdez didn't know where the ball was.
And it was her call. She was running to the danger end. Comes Suraksha Kote.
Across the line on one knee. Chance for a double. You think about it, but turn it down. I don't know for how long can Amelia Valdez continue like this.
Kind of batting character that lives by the sword and dies by it, Valdez. And she takes the risk that comes with the way she plays.
Challenge when you're impaired. Sometimes what could have been scoring opportunities, you miss out on them. But some huge quarterfinal clashes coming up tomorrow. My pick of the games, I think, is that Nepal versus Thailand game. Big Asian derby. Up-ish, but will land safely just before the fielder. 4 overs gone, 24 for 1. Yusuf, I think Thailand will be feeling like, Nepal will be feeling that they put themselves in a situation of being in a tough quarterfinal because they finished second in their group. They had finished first, would have had a more kind semi-final, quarterfinal. But now they run into the favorites of the tournament at the quarterfinal stage.
Absolutely. I think there'll be plenty of home support for them as well. In comes Chandani.
The 15-year-old has had her time in the sun, so it's Hannah Harris. And tentative call just to pick the single. Sometimes those are the small details we're talking about in terms of learning, because you realize that every time you play the ball in that area when a spinner is bowling, there's always a chance for a run.
Absolutely. And Cherokee now on strike. I think Philippines would be happy to bat out the 20 overs as well. And this is a significant amount of the total international exposure they get at this level, and every bit of it helps.
Wicket goes through the gate of Carrie Kane, and Hannah Harris gets the second wicket for the UAE, and Philippines are 25 for 2.
Rise lit up when she saw the ball going up in the air and exactly fell for the honey trap of Chandani, and the ball going through the defences of the Filipino number 3. Carrie Kane departs for 4 of 8.
See that on the replay again. Brilliant stuff there from Hannah Harris. Tossed up in the air and beaten by the flight of it. Just takes out that leg stump. Very beautiful stuff. The Philippines lose their second wicket. Keeper batter into bat for them. Zo Wong. I think, like we mentioned, Yusuf, the lesson today from Philippines will be playing out their 20 overs. They will have lost the game if they are unable to do that, because chasing down 200 in its own self is a very, very big task.
Huge. I mean, they are the only other side in the tournament that has gotten 200, Philippines. But they'll be very, very aware of the fact that it was gotten against a Saudi side, which UAE dismantled in just under 1 over. So there's a disparity in skill and quality.
In their defense, you can only beat what's in front of you.
Exactly.
Okay, well, what a bowling. Way to indicate, see what the umpire indicates. Runs, not buys given. Means it came off the edge.
By Hijra is a very good tournament so far. Very vibrant personality.
It's also good to see that all the tournament officials in this one are women. Good placement there from Amelia.
Rajit will cut it off.
So very good to see that the ACC also being very intentional about giving that exposure to female officials.
Absolutely.
Wow. Beautiful stuff. Beaten all hands up there, the keeper, Zo Wong.
She's spitting some fire here, Wong. Beg your pardon, Ho Chandni. End of the 5th, 27 for 2.
Yusuf takes a break. The bowling change means there's also a change in the commentary. New bowler from the Golden Hope End for the UAE. Welcome back, Sahedo. 27 for 2 is the situation.
Thank you, and a very warm afternoon here at the BAYUEMAS Oval. Change of bowling here. Samaira coming into the attack. Oh, that's rattled right through the gate. A wicket off her very first delivery. Beautifully bowled.
That one kept a touch too low for Amelia. Like we've been mentioning, Amelia plays from up on her body. And this one just rocks into the stumps, sort of skidding onto it, and just takes out the middle stump.
Well, a beautiful delivery. Look at that, coming back in. Well, she faced a similar delivery while she was batting and gave her wicket to the skipper, Katie Donovan. I think she's just giving them a taste of their own medicine.
Very good stuff there from Samara. Gets into the attack and immediately picks a wicket. The captain, Kate Donovan, walks out to bat for her team. Let's see if she can play some of the fire she was bowling for the others. But she's more than capable, I'll tell you.
Yes, absolutely. And what a wonderful spell from her. The skipper bowled with a lot of heart and bowled within herself. She knew what her strengths, and I think you can only feel for her because she didn't get the support from the fielders, or else she could have gotten at least a couple of more wickets.
Yeah, exactly. It just came on when the damage is already done and it's too much. But at least there were some celebrations at the back end. Samira to Donovan.
That's well bowled. Again, good pace. She's generating some very good pace here.
Yeah, most times you like pace bowlers also facing some pace. They like bowling it, but sometimes they don't like facing it. The final over of the power play for Philippines. Again, pushed very hard and then pushed back there with some authority from Donovan. Doesn't move her feet much, but she has power in those hands.
Oh, beautifully ball opened her up. And good fielding as well. Just a single.
I think this is also another opportunity for the UAE just to get their bowlers warmed up for the semi-finals, for the quarterfinals tomorrow. It's a good chance just to make sure everyone gets some air time in their legs.
Oh, beautifully bowled. Again, beaten for pace. The ball just skidded off the surface.
Yeah, Zhou Wong had no idea whatsoever, no clue about that. Still staying up, the ball just creeping under the bat. Much better this time. Good conviction, but kept out by Zhou Wong. That will finish the 6th over and end of the power play. 28 for 3 Philippines.
When you look at the numbers, 28 is not bad for a start, but it's the wickets column. 3 wickets down within the power play. And when you are chasing such a mammoth total, you're always on the back foot. I think for Philippines, it's more about pride of how they finish this tournament.
Yeah, I've mentioned with Yusuf that they're playing for pride. And, given what's happening in the Philippines, I think it's also a good thing to see them to continue to fight on in the tournament. Even if it's a lost cause, I think they've come out here and been very, very brave. They won the toss and elected to field first, just to show that they don't want to just show up for this fixture, but they want to learn from it and take very many lessons back home.
Absolutely, and I think it's a beautiful country, beautiful people as well. And I'm sure the whole country will be cheering these girls and have their back. A good start here from Hina.
Hina Harish, good matchup here with the captain. But the bases are loaded because they know she has a lot of power.
Beautifully bowled, and she's getting the ball to drift and turn, coming back into the left-hander. Well, Katie Donovan might target the leg side. Oh, misfield. That will be a single.
I don't know whether it is a misfield or intentional, just to get off strike. But a bit lazy there from Hina Harris. It doesn't look like she hits the ball hard, but she gets off her bat very, very hard.
And I think with her height, she'll have that extra reach. And if she swings the bat with a full swing, she'll be clearing this field with ease.
Yeah, she's very powerful. She hits a long ball. Just always takes her time to get into the game, and once she gets going, she's a clean hitter.
Flighted, good delivery. And she's bowling at a very good length. It's that length of uncertainty where the batter might get tentative whether to come back or rock behind. Beautifully bowled.
Yeah, and the previous over, I was going to say, we saw her beating that outside edge quite often.
It's another good over. Tidy one from Hina. Last delivery coming up. Oh, wrapped on the pads. That looked close as well. That looked very straight.
Yeah, very straight, but trying to turn the ball around the corner and playing against the turn. Zo Wong completely misses it. We feel she's a touch lucky.
Yes, absolutely. She was playing for the turn. The ball just straightening.
29 for 3 after 7 overs. I think for UAE now, they know that Philippines is not going to try and make a chase for it. They need 172 runs. It's a big total in only 13 overs. Now they can they have so many runs to work with, so you can sort of put some plans in play as you focus on the business end of the tournament.
Absolutely. And I think for Philippines, they will have that psychological win if they can pad their 20 overs. 3 wickets down, 7 wickets remaining. There's plenty of overs remaining as well. Oh, that's quick once again.
Very, very fired in there by Samira. Pulls the ball at very stocky run up, but really gets off the pitch.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at a run up, as a batter, you don't anticipate the ball to come that quickly.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's just the release towards the end and how hard she hits the deck. Just there. Beautifully bowled once again.
This time tucked into square leg, they get a double. Katie Thompson not queer enough to carry it off. Just walks back very, very casually, like a typical fast bowler. Like you don't know what's coming.
It takes a lot of power from your shoulder with that release to generate that kind of pace. Such a short run up. A low full toss, driven. Oh, this could be close. Oh, she was gone for all money.
Yeah, very, very tight there, the captain. Don't know why she took the run, because she hit the ball so hard and it went very quickly to the fielder. The only missing thing in all that was the direct hit, and the captain would have been gone for all money.
Yes, and a questionable single as well.
Yeah,
You're exposing your other batter.
Exactly, very, very tight single. Maybe she was tired of facing Samira. As a batter, you're always safe on the other end.
There she goes, beaten for pace. Look at that carry to the wicketkeeper as well. That just flew off.
No idea whatsoever there, Zo Wong, because the ball just went through to the keeper. The last game the UAE played against China, they could only bowl 5 overs, so not all their resources were properly utilized. So this is a good opportunity for them to just try and get good mileage in everyone.
That took the edge and will be a single deep backward point. And yes, I think it's all about rhythm. If they can bowl some quick overs here and just stay warmed up for that important game coming up tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow, there's no room for error. Lose a game, you're back home. But the UAE, one of the unbeaten teams in the tournament.
Oh, that kept low, but again beaten for pace. End of the over, 33 for 3. Well, Dennis, what's your thoughts on UAE? And they're going to face the host, Malaysia. And
Yeah.
I know UAE is a tough team, but Malaysia knows the conditions better.
Yeah, of course, the home side, Malaysia, will have advantage of understanding the conditions. But again, the UAE now, we are at the business end. They are not easy games anymore for anyone. If you want to be a champion, you have to beat all the best teams.
Well, talking about champion, it's time for a champion to come in. The skipper, led from the front. What a wonderful knock she played earlier on. Now she's coming into the attack and a good start.
Yeah, the captain bowls some off spin, I must say. And like I said, I think now they're trying to make sure they put some mileage into everyone. She rarely balls herself unless the situation requires it. But I think it would be a good advantage for her to bowl a couple of deliveries.
Yes, why not? I think in a tough game, the more options you have, it will give you that depth in the bowling attack as well. That's well bowled. Coming back in with the angle.
Similar style to that of the West Indian captain, Hayley Matthews, doesn't take the cap off.
And it's a good contest. Captain going against the other captain. Good contest between bat and ball.
That's not just a good contest, I think a good matchup. But Isa is bowling it so full, so it's easier to tuck away by Katie Donovan. Mentioned about the UAE. UAE, one of the unbeaten sides alongside Hong Kong, China, Thailand, and Indonesia. So all those 4 teams unbeaten. But their quarter-final opponents are also very, very formidable teams. And I was telling Yusuf, I think Thailand and Nepal is going to be a very good quarter-final game.
Yes, absolutely. I think Nepal is also a very good team. But they have somehow missed the mark, especially in the last game where Hong Kong, China really dominated them.
Yeah, they've been. I think it's just the batting for them that hasn't come together. They were on the ropes in the game against Bhutan, 40-7. Then they were rescued by some lower order hitting. But when they came out with the ball, they were magnificent.
Oh, that's close. Probably the height. With that tall release, that ball was always going on over the stumps. End of the over, 35 for 3.
Another champion bowler coming to the attack for the UAE. Vaishnavi Mahesh. I think one of the best bowlers I've seen in these associate teams. She's such a very intelligent leg spinner. She will set up batters the right way, couple of leg spinners and then the googly. Already has over 100 T20I wickets for the UAE.
Yes, we've seen a lot of good spinners, and most of them were off spinners. But I think a leg spinner always brings in that X factor in your bowling lineup as well, especially the ones that have that googly working for them. And I think when she's bowling over the wicket, we can expect a lot of googlies. Oh, good looking shot there, finds the gap. But she has been welcomed with a boundary.
Yeah, I was still giving her flowers, but Katie Donovan didn't want to know. First ball dispatched to the boundary in the slot. Katie Donovan picks her gap beautifully.
That was probably the googly, the ball just going the other way. She picked it up really quickly. And I think it's the natural angle as a leg spinner when you're bowling over the wicket. As a left-hander, you'll be expecting the ball to go away from you.
Yeah. Just needs to land it in the right area. Immediately they deploy a fielder. Samira put exactly where the ball passed.
She just pulled the length. Good bowling.
Yeah, perfect. That's something we spoke about with Yusuf, that you're not going to put fielders everywhere the ball passes for 4.
Yes, absolutely. I think sometimes it's just good to challenge the batter
Mhm.
and try to attempt the same shot once again, but you just change the length and it's a different ball game. Again, Fuller, it's missed time and a wicket. She gets the breakthrough. Mahesh.
Just spoken about it, just change the length and put it in the same area to try and challenge the batter. Katie Donovan tried to attempt the same thing, but a different result this time.
There you go. The change of length, just slightly short of where she pitched the first one,
Exactly.
and a wicket. And with that, the umpires have called for drinks. So we'll be heading into a short break and we'll come back on the other side. Welcome back after a short break. The new batter for Philippines, it's Zome Masaya. Well bowled once again. This is a good comeback.
Yeah, very good comeback there of Mahesh. Was struck for a boundary off her first ball, but she got rid of the captain. Yusuf mentioned data here from Yusuf mentioned that the challenge for Philippines would just be to play out their 20 overs.
Oh, that was aerial. That was close. Just short of the skipper.
Yeah, short of the skipper, and was also a run-out opportunity. Zome had stranded down from the non-striker's end.
And a wry smile on her face as well. She looks into the funny side of it. Again, the ball just stopping onto her, and a wonderful over comes to an end. Vaishnavi starts well.
And you can see Masai is also only just trying to survive. She doesn't look like she's going to challenge the batter.
Well, Yusuf, 10 overs gone, 39 for 4. What do you reckon?
I think it's two priorities for two teams here. UAE want minutes in their legs, and Philippines want to bow down with honor. So they want to bat those 20 overs. Thompson placed exactly there, and you can see they're not too intentional on trying to clear the ropes here, Philippines, like pointed out by Dennis as well. Both are trying everything in her armory to try and get a wicket.
Oh, almost went through. Oh, this could be close. And she's gone, I believe. Yes. Good take from Isha Oja, and good awareness as well. She knew exactly where the stumps were.
It was tricky. Wasn't the most straightforward run-out opportunity at the non-strikers end. She was moving. The throw wasn't direct, and Masaya not creasing properly as well on that occasion. You look at the replay. Very quick on that occasion.
Well, there was never a run in there, isn't it?
She had taken the start. New batter, Castillo. UAE now running away with it. The thing with champion teams, Shahidur, is that they could put you into pressure in a situation where there's absolutely no pressure at all. Even now, Philippines are playing for honor. They are not looking to chase down the score. Suddenly create that opportunity, and they've got another wicket.
That's a sweep shot attempted. This will be runs. At least two of them. Well, they're going for the third. This could be dangerous.
Wrong end on that occasion. Non-strikers end had the wickets written all over it.
Yes, good running between the wickets. I think it's all about trusting your partner. The non-striker, she was not interested but pushed in. Welcome runs here.
Revan Castillo. She'd like to bat out the remaining 9 overs for her country. Oza to Castillo.
Much better. Played down the ground. And I think that's all they need to do. Philippines, just rotate the strike, take singles and doubles, spend some good time out there, bat your 20 overs, finish on a high note. That's the best way for them to finish this game.
And, they're looking for the right options. Running well between the wickets.
Oh, clean her up. Right in between bat and pad. Another wicket. You can't keep her out of action.
This is second time in the tournament Oja has delivered both with bat and ball in a very significant fashion, and today no different. But it was a long stay for Wong. 17 balls for her 3 runs, and she ends her innings and her campaign at the Asian Women's Premier T20 Cup. UAE going through the formalities.
There's 6 wickets down. Just 4 more to go. It's a matter of 4 good deliveries and that's it. But then if you bat well and if you bat sensibly, you can take the game longer.
Pride on the line here for Philippines.
And it's Luis Barcelona. He's walked into bat. Didn't had a great day in the field. I think she's more known for her batting, and she's gone. First delivery, that's 2 in 2 for the skipper. Isha Oja strikes once again. Well, Barcelona was asking for the review. Unfortunately, that's not available.
2 overs, 4 for 2 Oja. If I'm not right, not wrong. 3 for 2, I beg your pardon. Barcelona came to Kuala Lumpur and off she went.
Well, it was probably sliding down the leg, but yes, it was a very close call. But of course, the umpire has the best view.
I mean, in umpire Hijra's defense, she had the batsman was very close to the wicket on her back foot. Well, Vaishnavi Mahesh comes into the attack. The ball taken to her. And that'll be 4.
Well, what a good shot. Full swing of the bat. And that was the replay for the wicket.
Castillo. Very big
This what a shot that came out of nowhere actually.
against the run of play.
But a good start to the over. Vaishnavi went for a boundary for very first delivery in the last over. Same goes here. But then she struck back with a wicket. Can it happen all over again? Almost. And a good throw.
Thompson has been all over the field but hasn't bowled today yet. She's also one of the senior members of the UAE outfit. Mahesh, of course, their premier wicket-taking bowler, alongside the skipper. Castillo.
That's heaved away on the onside. There's a huge gap at square leg. Slight hesitation between the batters, but they will make the second run.
Simran Ashwin Kumar doing the hard work at the square leg boundary.
.49 on the board. Oh, big swing of the bat. There's a field out there just short of her. And they're going for the second as well. That will be the 50 for Philippines.
Suraksha Kote, fielder at deep mid wicket, went for the catch and made sure that she didn't let the ball through. Now then, interesting, she did some very good fielding there, Kote, but immediately switched positions. Hot Chandani put in the same place and she takes Hot Chandani's place.
Well, you can see some intent from the batters as well. Again, goes for the heave. Same place, different fielder and different result. What a catch. And she shows you how it's done. Hina Harish in the deep.
One of the more athletic fielders in the UAE side. Bowled the same delivery, got the batter to play in the exact same direction. Different result this time around. Very proactive by the UAE skipper. A bit of a gesture from Castillo as she walks away. Well then, they're falling like a pack of cards. It's not looking pretty now.
Well, Yusuf, that's your answer for that change in the field.
Exactly, I was thinking. Hot Chandani, of course, the bit more athletic of the UAE fielders. In fact, their most athletic fielder. And the immediate switch was to try and gain that extra yard or two to try and affect the catch. Shows how UAE are resolute on still trying to get wickets.
But that's how you make the difference between both the sides. There's one team who's leading and who's in the driving seat, still hungry for more, still diving in, putting in efforts to get that wicket.
Absolutely. They've never left no stone unturned this tournament. In no real sign of a jarring weakness, except for that middle order who got their first.
Oh, she's gone. What a delivery. That was beautifully bowled. Open her up and hitting the top of off stump.
Umpire Guha having a few words with the match officials and the umpires. Well, she's getting some help. Shades of Tirtha Suresh with her.
That was brilliantly bowled.
Textbook off spinner's wicket. Leg spinner's wicket hitting the top of off a length. Well then, final roll of the dice for Philippines.
It's going to be Jessica, the new batter.
Jessica Medianesta batted much higher at the top batting order the previous game. Now a matter of formality.
Yeah, I think Jessica was the player taken off due to that injury, and you can still see her crawling in. So she's definitely not fit. but shows a lot of heart. I mean, that's what's on the line: the love and passion for the game, and to the pride to represent your country.
Exactly, Shaidur. You can be a great player, you can be a great team, you can be a test playing team or an associate team, but there is no higher privilege than representing your country.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, she's gone. She is gone. Isha Oja was on a hat trick, 2 wickets in the last 2 deliveries, and the very first delivery in this over, she gets the wicket. Hat trick for her. And what a way to end this game, and what a way to end her bowling spell as well. Wonderfully done.
Yeah, what a day she's had. Everything she's touched has turned into gold. I think she didn't realize that it was a hat trick. But the ball just came off the bat and rocked into the stumps. And what a wonderful day the captain has had either, as the UAE completes a big victory.
Well, that was an appeal for LBW, and Isha Oja had no clue that the ball just rolled onto the stumps.
Yeah, I think it's Satish, the wicketkeeper, was reminding her that you don't even need to appeal because the ball has hit the stumps. Strong performance, a statement win here from the UAE as they march into the quarterfinals tomorrow. Big victory for them, 149 runs win, 115 runs win against Philippines. As that sets them up very well for the quarterfinal tomorrow, when they will be taking on the host Malaysia. Valiant performance from Philippines, but just not good enough on the day against one of the teams that are favorite. The match summary: the first innings, Philippines winning the toss and electing to bowl first. The match summary: the first innings of the game, all about the performance here from the captain of the UAE, Osha, 92 for her, 57 balls. And good support there from Rajit, who got 37, and Satish, who got 27 as well. There were 3 wickets for the captain of Philippines, Kate Donovan, 3 for 25. But in the second innings, the UAE just stopping any resistance from Philippines, dismissing them for 51 all out inside 13 overs. And the captain with a hat trick as well, 3 for her in 2.1 overs. But Mahesh picking up 3 wickets for 12 in her 2 overs as the UAE complete a 150 runs win against the Philippines. The group games end today, and the business end of the tournament will start off tomorrow with the quarterfinals. Malaysia will be taking on the UAE, and the Philippines will have to unfortunately go home as their tournament comes to an end. Tomorrow, we are coming back with the business end of the ACC Women's Premier Cup 2026. But do not go away, because the post-match presentation is coming up with Yusuf.
Well, welcome back, folks. We're here at the post-match presentation for this final Group Day fixture here at the ACC Women's Premier Cup 2026. Of course, a dominating performance by the UAE here in this final fixture, and of course, we are doing the due recognitions here at the post-match presentation ceremony. Well, to give away the Man of the Match award, the Player of the Match award, I beg your pardon, it is our match referee, Ms. Shivani Mishra from Qatar, and we had some incredible performances today. 4 overs, 25 for 3, KT Donovan, the skipper of the Philippines as well. But it was one performer who stood out head and shoulders above the rest, and it is Isha Oza for her 92 runs and 3 for 3 in her 2.1 overs. Well, we'll have a few words with Katie now. Katie, throughout the tournament, you've batted well, you've bowled well, fielding has been here and there, but when you go back to the drawing board, what would you think of?
Well, I'm just coming back from an injury, so I didn't have much time to work on my batting. But yeah, definitely for next time, work more on my batting and my fielding as well.
Well, the spirits in that camp, they've done well over the past few weeks. You've got that score in excess of a 200. You've bowled well. You've got in the runs as well. Going forward, what does this team look like?
No, well, this team, I love captaining this team because they're so full of spirit, like regardless of the result, and that just shows. I think we're such a tight knit group of girls, and every tour we're learning like math heaps and bounds. Every tour, even our last tour back in SEA Games in Thailand, it's brilliant to see, and yeah, I'm really excited for our next future tours.
You've led this team with some great team spirit, with a lot back happening home as well. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of emotions that you're processing right now. With the commiserations and sympathies from us, we wish you all the best going forward.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That was KT Donovan. And now, the player of the match for the evening, Isha Oza, and alongside the winning captain herself as well. Isha, convincing performance today, everything going well. Pretty sure you wanted minutes in the legs for your players as well. How did it all go?
I think it went well. I think quite a few batters got to spend time in the middle. That's what we were looking for, and like important knockout games coming up. So it's good that everybody had a knock in the middle before that.
You had a great start, great finish, a bit of a hiccup in the middle when you were batting. Going back to the drawing board tonight, very little time with the quarterfinals lined up for tomorrow. How's plans looking?
Yeah, we'll just have a talk about it. I think what things we can work upon, how we can get better at what we didn't do well today, and yeah, just come and implement that tomorrow, hopefully.
A word on the 15-year-old wicket today.
Yeah, I mean, what a brilliant debut, like a dream debut. She did what she does every time in the nets. She just bowled it to where she bowls well, and yeah, I'm really happy for her that she got her first wicket today.
Glad you have minutes in the legs. Important game coming up tomorrow. You performed very well as a team and as a leader and as a unit. All the very best.
Thank you, sir.
Well, with that, we conclude proceedings here from the post-match presentation ceremony, and it will be an all-important quarter-final day tomorrow.